you always want views and viewers and engagement. But when you see a picture of someone's family across the country, like 10, 20 people huddled around a TV watching their loved one, that drives me to be like, okay, we are going to do this again, and we're going to level it up a couple more levels. Welcome back to the next aid station. I'm your host, Jake Kilgore, alongside co-host Mick Garrison. What's up, buddy?
Ready to pop the top here, brother? I did it.
Wow, that was synchronized.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you, Rockstar.
Thank you, Rockstar. Thank you, DC Peaks. Wow, what a week it was last week. I don't think we have enough time to break down everything we want to break down on this race, but we're going to try and slam it all into this week's episode.
I've pretty much been sleeping since then, so to me, the race just happened.
Welcome back to Earth, Mick.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, some lemonade, Rockstar.
Yeah, it's fantastic,
Gets you through
dude.
the podcast, bro.
I think I drank 7 or 8 of them on race day. I'm not kidding. I had 2 before the sun came up.
I would have liked to. I was up on the mountain. I did some miles.
I should have come and aided you with a Rockstar. Facts. All right. DC Peaks recap week, and we have a ton to talk about, but I feel like I need to open with the love and appreciation we have received from our runners. It has been overwhelming this week. For the last 4 days, 5 days, every day, it's like emails and texts. And I'll start with this one. Our third place female in the 50 miler, Ashley Moline. She gave this card, that's like a 3x5 card, to every single aid station and gave us one at the finish. And she carried them with her in her pack. And it's really it's a handwritten, like, special, very special thanks to the aid station captains and aid stations, and then you and I as race directors at the finish line. I've never seen anything like that.
Very unique. Very cool.
I thought that was awesome. Like, bro, she handed it to me, and I read it. I teared up as I was reading it with her.
Can I explain? So I was, before the race, I was like, what makes this special for me is like when I was listening to Trail to 100 podcast, and they were talking about our race. And when you create something and then it becomes someone else's, it's not yours anymore. So her journey, her 50-mile race, her training, she took every step of it and she podiumed. That's her experience, and it's not ours anymore. We made the route and we got the aid stations and all that stuff, but it becomes pretty special when it's like they don't even know us. They don't need to. Has nothing to do with us at that point. That is her first 50-mile race, and she mentions in that note, I can never have another first 50-miler. This is it. And I'm like, yeah, that makes you just really think of the individual, every single person that's out there and their journey. It's like totally different than ours. They have their own experience and we have ours, but DC Peaks becomes theirs. And I'm like, that's cool. That's when we've created something awesome.
And I love that perspective, because when we created the race 5 years ago, I didn't have that in mind.
No.
I wasn't thinking, oh, one day this will be the first 50 of, I was just like, yeah, let's just go do a cool route in our backyard. That'll be so fun. But I think, the compounding effect of the emotional, like, growth that these individual runners have and the experience they have, I never would have thought of that.
No, it's cool.
Very rewarding as race directors, because for multiple people asking me on race day about being a race director and like the hustle and bustle and the anxiety, and I mean, I had 2 consecutive days in a row, Friday and Saturday, of 21-hour days. Slept for 3 hours, 2 nights in a row. And it felt like a 200-miler to me. Like, in my soul,
Oh, yeah.
I ran 200 miles just because I was, like, starting to get foggy. And people were asking, and I was like, man, I'd way rather be running 50 miles than race directing. That's how hard this is.
It's easier.
It is easier.
I know it
it's
is.
way more fun. Hey, speaking of, did you have fun this year?
Not even close. Not even. I had fun for probably an hour of the day.
So, which hour? The
At the
last?
At the fires again. I was sitting there. You finally get to high five some people that come in and talk to them. Was sitting at the finish line around one of the fires with Jen and Sabrina, just chatting, talking. Things have kind of calmed down. And
Yeah, it was about 9 o'clock at night.
I'm like, that was fun. And you get to see some of the runners that have been out there all day and get to talk to them.
They're rolling in at 14-hour finish.
I was like, okay, now I'm kind of having fun. I'm so tired. And most of them were kind of mad because of the out and back that we added.
Yay.
But I mean, it was in good fun. But no, I didn't have fun, bro.
So we're 4 years in, and you're not having fun on race day. That's concerning, man.
Yeah, it is.
I have fun the whole time. Even though it's high intensity, high pressure, people pulling flags, whatever's going on, snow, I don't care. Like, that wasn't fun. But I sit back and I'm like, dude, that was a big day. Got a lot done, talked to hundreds of people. That was fun.
Okay. You know when you're running an ultra marathon?
And in the mile 70, you're not having fun?
You're not having fun. And then you look back on it and you're like, that adventure, that was worth it. That was badass. I loved everything about it. But in the moment, you didn't really.
But yeah, you're like, but then you go sign up for another race.
Yeah, you sign up for another race. It's not that it's not worth doing, but it's the buildup of it and the creation of it and the permitting and the getting the sponsors and all that stuff and then trying to pull it off. That's all fun. And then reflecting on it now, this is fun. But in the moment, I care very much. And I want it to be perfect. And when it's not, it weighs heavy on me, dude.
It does. It also weighs on me, which is why you and I made a huge list the very next day. In fact, the day of the race, I always have an active list going on Saturday.
Yeah.
Next year, do this. Next year, do this. Next year, do that. And you and I compare our notes because we have very different experiences as race directors every year. I'm way over here and you're way over there.
Yeah.
This year I was up on the mountain for 4 or 5 hours. You were down setting up aid stations. I was at the finish line. You were on course. So we end up comparing our notes. But at the end of it, I'm like, no, man, this is fun. But yeah, it is stressful, and we're trying to make this thing perfect and make little tweaks every single year, which we talked about already, the 2024 tweaks, right? Medals, signs, tons of stuff.
Yep.
Live stream. So as a race director, your experience, like what are some of the 1 or 2 things you're like, nope, this is changing already for next year?
Well, it's weird for me to realize how much there is to fix and how much there is even to do. Because you're like, look, let's create a route. We'll get a permit. You set up some tables with food. Like, it's pretty
easy, right?
It's not hard.
Yeah.
Bro. Yes, it is. There is so much that goes into it. I can't believe how much there is. I mean, you could really mess these things up if you wanted to.
Well, I think there's so much that goes into it because we care that much about every Ashley in the race, every personal experience. We want to be perfect, from the pro front of the pack runner to the very last runners at Golden Hour that finished, I believe, right around 10:15 p.m. We want every single one to have their own unique, personal, like, best, awesome experience. I don't think you can say that about every race.
Yeah, probably not. So I think let's start here. The thing that caused me the most grief is the route, like GPX/flags. The number one thing outside of no one getting hurt, I don't want runners to get lost. That is what weighs on me the most.
You're not talking about lost in the mountains like, oh, I'm search and rescue. You're like just off trail.
Just off trail.
Took the wrong trail.
Yeah. Just I don't want their experience to be ruined at all.
Yeah, they miss a turn.
They miss a turn. So I think all trails links on our website need to go.
Yep.
We'll figure out a different way to do that. People had old versions of the route. And then, I mean, it cost them a mile. It's not the end of the world. It's nothing like what could happen, Jake Krong and Bear. Like,
I mean, look, dude, it happens. And I think that we are perfectionists in what we do and what we create together. And I think there's some grace in the trail sport, especially ultras. I mean, I told the story 3 months ago in my 200 at the Tahoe 200. Like, the flags weren't there. The sign was not there for Jen and I to make that turn. I did 3 extra miles, probably 2 extra miles in a 200 miler, and it sucked. But it's like, it's also part of it. Like, you should be able to navigate, have the GPX, get back on course, and like do your thing.
Yeah.
There was nobody at the Tahoe 200 like apologizing or talking to me.
No.
Doesn't make it okay.
No, I think it's just the way that we roll it out. Like, if we do an update on a GPX file, we need to be like psychos about letting everyone know. I don't know what that is. Maybe we push a text out. Maybe it's I don't know, whatever, Instagram post.
Yeah.
But we're like, hey, you have an old, even if it's a week, you have an old version of this. And then they downloaded it like 3 weeks before the race, and they thought they were good. So then they get a little, not lost, but they did an extra mile.
Or a quarter mile or whatever it ends up being. Well, my experience will be this. Like, I've been signed up for the Kodiak 100 for 3 months now. It is this week. It's in 2 days. Today's Wednesday, the October 9th? Yeah.
Yeah.
And my race is in 2 days. 48 hours ago on Monday, they sent out a new course because there's a fire in Big Bear. And it is nothing like the current course.
No.
Instead of one big loop that you literally can't get lost on, it's a freaking figure 8 that you do 1.5 times, and then you do 2 loops on the east side twice and then come back. It's totally different.
I saw that.
And I screenshot UTMB's policy as race directors. They own all the races in the world. And theirs says, on race day, always follow the flags. If there's a question between GPX and flags, always follow the flags. And you didn't like that.
How would that work for us this year? Terribly.
Last year.
Because people moved our flags.
They moved them. They threw them away.
Twice.
They threw them in the bushes.
2 spots after zigzag. I'm watching the leaders of the race, and they take this wrong turn that wasn't wrong in their mind because somebody freaking moved the flag and then threw a bunch of them in the bushes. So if you're following the GPX file, you stay on course. If you follow the flags, you go off. So that's where I disagree with UTMB on that.
Yep. So as a runner, it is the runner's responsibility to download the latest version of the GPX file from the race website. I would say within 48 hours of race start.
That's what I'm saying. We got to
download that one.
This.
Download the most recent version. Follow the flags. If there's a discrepancy, I'm following GPX.
Okay, listen. Ryan Sullivan, the leader of the 55K, crushed it. He, in that section coming from Zigzag over to Mueller, he got mixed up and lost the trail. And guess what? He just adjusted, figured it out, got back on course, and had a great attitude about it.
Same with the runners last year.
Same
section.
Guess who got mad? The 25Kers, non-ultra runners. That's who gave us the most shit.
Yeah.
So that I'm like, interesting. That's interesting.
You have
true ultra marathoners.
Pro. He's a pro.
He didn't care. He was so cool.
Whether he runs an extra half mile, whatever, he's like, I
he
figured
just
it
figured it out, and he's like, yeah, it's ultra running, you know.
This
Gave
is
me
not
some
my first
feedback.
rodeo.
Gave me some feedback. We're gonna fix it. You know what we have to do? We have to mark that section on race day.
Yep.
We went over this morning and remade the GPX file
Yes, we did.
just to make sure every little step was perfect. And then we're going to have the biggest badass dudes that we know stand there with swords.
All night.
Yeah. I'm going to dress them up like a knight on a horse and not let anyone move those course markings. Because, and I was telling you this, even with the GPX file, if I'm Zach Garner, and who was he with? Sam?
Mm-hmm.
They're cruising, and then there's a fork in the road.
They're running like 7-minute miles.
They just oh, okay, yep. I just broke all of our equipment. Okay, they just
You're losing it.
yeah. Okay, if I'm Zach Garner and I'm cruising down the Holland, going 7-minute miles, even if I have the GPX file and a flag at a fork goes this way, I'm just going to bomb down that way, you know? So I don't, we got, the flags are something that I would like to fix. The flags and the GPX need to be dialed next year, bro.
It's a 2-mile section on the BST in Centerville that 2 years in a row now has given us fits, and we are committed to fixing it.
Yeah, same with the 2 miles left, the very end section. I will dial this in.
Yeah, both those will be locked in.
So that's number one thing that I would want to fix for next year.
Okay.
You want to know something else?
Yeah.
Can I say this on air?
I don't know. I can't read your mind, but go ahead.
I think we got to do medals for the 50 milers.
That's on my list, man.
Oh, I just stole yours?
Well, it's on. See it right there on our list, man.
I can't see it. I just see a pole.
Okay. Well, you see I'm wearing the 25K medal.
So many people told us they didn't want medals.
Okay, I'm going to get to that.
Okay, I'll leave that. I'll let you have that one, dog.
Let me lead here.
Oh, because you're wearing it.
I'm wearing the 25K medal, which I got tons of compliments. So good job, Mick. And who are we shouting out?
Thank
Who made
you.
these? Your boy,
Yeah, Michael.
Michael. Didn't he also make the billboard bibs? No? How about them bibs,
I can't
Mick?
remember the name of that company.
That's all right. We don't.
No.
It's all right. The medals were awesome and are awesome, I will say. And our bibs were
Maxwell medals.
Maxwell medals. Shout out to Maxwell medals. Good job. Love them. We're going to be buying more because we're going to have a lot more runners. Our bibs were sweet. I know that you love those. They were the size of a billboard on I-15.
The capes that we got our runners?
Yeah, makes them run faster.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
2 holes. You just cape it.
Yeah, we'll fix that.
Fix that.
Ugh.
That's crazy. Those bibs. Hey, I know you noticed, runner, and you probably mumbled something. Eyeball emojis right now. We see you, and we saw them. Sorry. We used a new place. And apparently they didn't know it wasn't supposed to be 8x11 sheet of paper.
Bro.
Just the amount of ink.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Mick's already.
See, this is the type of
Mick's
stuff that
already
makes it
mad.
That's what makes this not fun. I'm like, I don't want capes and messed up course markings.
Okay. All right, how about this? Because I'm wearing this medal, this was the first year doing the 25K. We had just as many runners finish the 55K as we had finished the 25K, which was cool. Like exact same number. I want to say 65 or 55 people finished both those races. What is your take on the 25K as part of the DC Peaks race events? Did you like it? Did you think it was Do we keep it for 2025?
If we could sell out the 50 miler, then I would drop the 25K.
Explain to the listeners why that's the case.
Because it's all part of one permit. So say next year we're going to push for 400 runners. This year was 350. So between all 3 races, we only get 350 runners. So the real experience, the true race, the OG, is the 50 miler. So I would rather have more of those. And so since we have extra spaces because it's not selling out, then I'm down for the 25K. But now, obviously, the leaders, Chepe, but these guys, they're real ultra runners, but a lot of them aren't. And so I want to have a good experience for them, but I'm like, interesting. Like I didn't love some of the griping and comments that we got from the 25Kers.
The community or the vibe from them was very different than your 50 and 100 miler people.
Yeah.
But not in like a negative way. I mean, a few of them
was for me, bro.
Yeah, a few of them, sure. I'll tell you what I like about the 25K. I like that it builds our events with people who do the 25K who have a phenomenal experience, which was 99% of them, who are like, that was awesome. You guys do such a great job. This is a fun party at the finish line. Like, I want to train now for the 55K for next year.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it.
Yeah.
Is that I think that's a great entry level, trail run, very entry level trail run, that will lead to growth in the sport and growth in DC Peaks, 55K, 50 mile, 100 mile as they kind of move their trail career. The second thing I really liked about the 25K was if I remember right, I think like either 2/3 or 3/4 of the 25K field was female. Did you know that?
No.
Which I think was rad.
Yeah, I like that.
Because the bigger events, it's the opposite. It's way more men than women in the 50, 100 mile events. So I thought that was cool. I actually liked that balance.
I think that the females, they make it a more fun party. I'm down. I don't know. I think maybe I'm being sensitive because I was focusing on the negative stuff. I honestly felt, I'm like, bro, everyone hates us. And you're like, what are you talking about? Because I wasn't really at the finish line having these conversations that you were. Mm-hmm. The few interactions that I had were kind of negative, and then people were pissed, and I'm seeing comments that the audio wasn't working for the first half hour, and just all these negative things that at the end of the day weren't really that big of a deal, but they were weighing on me throughout the day. So then, that night and the next day, we're just getting all of this love on Instagram and emails and text messages and stuff. And I'm like, it took a lot for me to let my guard down. I'm like, oh.
Our race did go well.
So it's okay? Like, everyone doesn't hate us? You guys okay?
No, I mean,
it's not pity party. I'm just,
no, dude,
that's just how I felt.
We had over 200, we had close to 250 finishers. And I will say I saw and spoke to 200 of them personally at the finish line. And 199 out of 200 were like thrilled, loved it, awesome experience. There's a couple of things, but that's trail running. So yeah, I kept trying to let you know, like, no, dude, we had a great day.
Yeah, that's good to hear, because I'm like, pretty much everyone was like, everyone made a comment, whether it was in fun or not, about the out and back. Like, they were giving me crap on that. I was upset about the course marking, just different things. And I'm like, huh.
Okay. So on the out and back, the out and back is referred to as the Summerwood aid station. For you guys, for anyone listening, that aid station was up half a mile on the trail the last 3 years. This year, we brought it down just half a mile. So it ends up being a full mile out and back, half mile down a pretty steep road. And then you got to climb back up it to get back on trail.
Sucks.
The reason for that change is it makes for a way better aid station, way easier to get volunteers, much better to pick up and clean up. Like, out and backs for aid stations are very, very, very common in ultra running races, especially 50s, 100s, 200s. I can see in a 25K mindset of like, why am I hitting this out and back? Like, I'll just go finish the race. So I can see at that level of runner or that level of distance, why do I need to go to the aid station? Like, I'm good. I'll just run the last 5 miles. I don't need water. But whatever.
I mean,
go hit the aid station.
Yeah,
You got to check in.
You think that's hard to climb that, even at mile 45? Try carrying 2 5-gallon jugs of water up that thing.
Yeah.
Multiple times. And then it's like, then they run out of ice. And
they ran out of water every year
there.
there.
Run some stuff up to us. I'm like, literally.
Okay, I'll see you in an hour.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And I wanted to add the vert back because we lost some at the first.
The vert to me was whatever.
No, I did, bro.
I know.
I made that call. That was part of it.
My motive is all volunteer based. Like,
that's the majority of it.
That is the experience. We got so many emails of love about our volunteers and our aid station. Love. So many. They freaking love our volunteers that ran those aid stations. And that's a big part of it, dude. They're the best.
They're the best.
Bree Sullivan and the NAC crew that ran Summerwood crushed.
Yes.
I know everyone else did too. But since we're talking about Summerwood, Bree and NAC crushed it.
Do you know that the ham radio guys like kind of blocked off that cul-de-sac so that our runners would be safe, and we had like a nice,
you had the whole cul-de-sac.
Nice setup up there. Yeah, we got a permit from Bountiful City to do that.
Yeah, so that was awesome. Like, if you're complaining about a little half mile out and back, I would just say like maybe run some more races and understand more what these events take to put on and what it takes to like provide a safe and fun environment for the runners.
Probably most of the people that were saying it were just kind of giving me crap like we would Carl at Speed Go.
Yeah, you're just messing around.
So I can handle it in good fun, but
yeah,
you know, there was a lot going on in my mind that day.
Okay, so we had some. What are your thoughts on the? We had some open split time. It didn't like update quick.
No, from what I'm hearing from our tech team, and I love our boy Aaron, that just handles all the runner tracking. He was pretty frustrated with that. I think we'll move on to a different software.
Okay, find something a little more efficient, faster. The updates quick, whatever. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Any remarks on the live stream? We made a few remarks, but we'll kind of make some closing remarks. This is our first year of actually making it work. I have a note right here. Jacob Bateman,
I got
who
one.
commentated. He gave us these cards. And just a thank you and honored, like that we trusted him to run the podcast. I got nothing but massive love and feedback from Jacob, about David McBride, about Corbin.
Yep.
The feed, everything.
Yeah, Scott crushed it. I think that it was awesome. I think that I'm surprised that anyone is thanking us. I'm like, no, thank you. Like, I can't believe that you guys did this.
Yeah.
And they did it so well. You know, the way that Scott produced it, and you were a huge part of this too, bro. Like, I really didn't do much with the live stream. And the commentators and the field and the drone pilots that we got. I watched with my family a couple hours, 3-4 hours of the
I think it was 9 hours of footage.
Yeah, we had it on for like 4 hours the next day.
Yeah, me too.
And it actually made me feel better because you know how it was so stressful, and I was like, wait, no, they did a really good job.
Dude.
And I like got caught up in the race. And it's cool to hear that Ashley Moline's family is watching and Zach Garner's family from France is watching. And I'm like, that's actually really cool. That makes me happy.
Yeah. To me, you always want views and viewers and engagement, but when you see a picture of someone's family across the country, like 10, 20 people huddled around a TV watching their loved one, that drives me to be like, okay, we're going to do this again, and we're going to level it up a couple more levels. Because now that we figured it out, in the last minute, I'll say that a huge part of this happening was 24 hours before the race. a buddy of ours at Lion Energy donated 6 batteries to us. So we had one at every aid station, and we grabbed Starlinks at every aid station, and we put it together. Luckily, we were already on the path of building it out with the tech, and Scott and Steven building out the tech that we needed. But Lion Energy coming through in the last minute was huge. So we had that. Now we have the Starlinks. We have the batteries. We have the drone pilots who are awesome. We grabbed e-bikes for Bountiful Boulevard, and that footage was awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh my gosh, dude. Watching those runners just run for 2.5 miles on Bountiful Boulevard was so cool. So yeah,
cool,
next year, I can assure you I will have runners on course as much as we can with reception. But I think we'll have a little bit more of what you did when you ran behind Ashley at the finish.
Yeah.
We'll do that at a few more spots, just to give a little more on-trail experience,
we need to do that.
Especially on BST in Centerville. There's reception all right there, and we can just capture all of that, and then have the bikes pick them up. So I think we can live stream aid station zigzag all the way to Mueller for all the leaders.
Bet.
Look at that.
I said bet. You know what I did here? So shout out to our boy Steven and Scott on the media and the tech side of this, because I heard from multiple people, like, I can't believe the content that you guys put out.
Tons of people said that.
Yeah. And they're behind the scenes. They might not get the love that they deserve, but that's them. That ain't me.
Yeah, there's a lot of runners that finish the race who are like, hey, in fact, we got them at the expo too, at Pack a Pickup. We were like, hey, we just want you to know, like, I recognize the effort and the time you put into your videos and your race course reviews, all of that. So yeah, we'll keep that love flowing all year.
Yeah.
Those of you listening, Mick did open up registration.
Oh my goodness.
For 2025.
Yep.
We are open, and the 25K is on there, Mick.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Let's go.
Fill it up.
I mean, first week in October. I think it's October 4th.
Yes, October 4th.
We had teased moving it into around the third week in September. But the fall colors have called.
And I feel like after 4 years, we kind of own that weekend and that Saturday. That if we get our 100-miler approved, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
So
I think the 200-miler going on hold a year because of permitting issues. It's a lot. I think that kind of pushed us to, let's just keep it right where it's at.
Yep. So stay tuned. Hopefully in the next, before December 1st is our goal. Before December 1st, we are able to release and launch and fully announce the 100-miler for 2025. But until then, we're very, very happy with our 50-miler, 55K, 25K. So let's quickly recap our races. The 25K, we'll start with the men's podium, Jose Cruz, Tanner Singleton, Cody Robinson. First year of the 25K. Women, Hayden James, Alexis Reeder, and Sierra Goodridge. The first two runners, Jose and Tanner, coming in just under 2 hours. Cody Robinson, who was our first year, 2023, 55K winner, entered the 25K and came back to DC Peaks, ran a 2:01 25K.
Yeah.
I noticed on this open split times, he came into Summerwood in 6th or 7th.
Oh, and he's like,
That's why I love the out and back. I don't really care what people's opinions are of it. For aid station volunteers, boom, number one, it's the best. But I said it a month ago. If there is a foot race and you get to see who's in front or behind you in the out and back, that is special.
Yeah.
In the last 5 miles, you're like, oh, dude, I got to lead on this guy, or I'm behind by 3 minutes. You see him.
Yeah. Well, and Cody was coming off of injury. He almost didn't race.
Yeah, and he saw those guys ahead of him. I'm sure he was counting.
Well, he runs with those. He's like, Tanner, Jose, those are my boys. Like, we are taking this podium. I'll see you in a second, boys.
And I'm sure he was counting who was ahead of him. I know Zach and Grant saw each other. They 100% saw each other on that out and back.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
I think it's great when people go to the out and back. You're right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Run it. Okay. 55K. Last year, Cody Robinson ran a 6:15 55K. And this year, Ryan Sullivan just dropped a cool 4 hour and 53 minute 55K.
Oh, yeah.
Are you getting up to Bountiful Peak and back in under 5 hours?
Under 5?
Yeah.
Yes.
But
just to go up Bountiful Peak and back?
from Zigzag, up and back.
In 5 hours?
It's probably like
Yes.
3.5, 4 hours is my point.
Oh, yeah. No, he did that too.
Well, I don't know, probably.
I
Maybe
think so.
less.
He's
4:53.
That homie is crazy fast.
Yeah, Cody Robinson would not have podiumed
I know. That's
this
wild.
year's 55K, and he won it last year.
Yeah, strong field.
So
Yeah, Ryan Sullivan's a different beast.
yeah, dude. Ryan Sullivan, Jared Shumate, Jared, I don't know your last name, bro. I'm sorry. And Dan Vandermeer. That's our men's podium. Women's podium, Jenny Bump, Parker Blue, and Allie Ogwin round out the women's podium. Stats just in. Ryan Sullivan got to Bountiful Peak in 1 hour and 28 minutes.
Yeah.
I have done Zigzag
That's like 5,000 feet. of
so
climbing.
many times. And I go up to I go to the road and back. I rarely go to Bountiful Peak, and it takes me an hour 30
Just to get to the top of Zigzag.
to get to
And then he had an extra
Skyline
2.5
Drive.
miles.
Yeah. And he started at the church, not at the trailhead.
Oh, yeah, bro. Oh, my gosh. That's a talented runner.
Hour and 28 from the church? Which means if I started at the trailhead, I mean, he's whooping me by 30 minutes still.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. So that was our 55K. I love that race, actually. I really, really like that race. My question is, because I haven't been on Zigzag on race day, and I'd love the feedback of anyone listening. What is it like going up when runners are coming down, or if you're going down and runners are coming up? I've ran plenty of races where that's a thing, and you just scooch aside and then you do your thing. But I'd love some feedback on the start time there. We start the 50 miler at 5 a.m. and the 55K at 7 in hopes that our elite, or at least our front pack 55K, can get up and back before they got to deal with any 50 miler runners.
Yeah, and I like it better than the 6 because then they don't have to use a headlamp.
Yeah, so I still like the 7 a.m., but I don't know. I think a lot of the passing back and forth is of all the runners going different directions is done on Skyline Drive, which is no big deal at all.
I've never heard anyone even comment on that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I'd like to see kind of what people say just on Zigzag Trail on its own, but I do like that out and back, that half of it is on Skyline Drive, so it's super easy to just pass people going different directions. So that's little RD feedback. All right, our 50 miler winners for 2024. Men's Grant Barnett, course record with a 7:35, beats Adam Loomis by 6 minutes. We're going to come back to that, the Grant topic. Zach Garner, 7:46. Alex Johnson, 8 hours flat. And Sam was like a few minutes behind him in fourth.
Oh,
So
these guys are
we just podiumed
psycho
8
fast.
minutes or under. Bro, okay, let me get the women's and we'll get back to this. Sabrina Stanley crushes the Liz's record, which we knew was going to happen.
Yep.
She runs an 8:52, sub-9 female podium
Yeah.
course record. That record will stand for a very long time.
Yeah. You know who might come for that?
Who?
Call out. Leah Yingling.
Yeah.
Come
Bro.
try to chase that down.
Rumor
If it's not her, I don't know who it would be.
Rumor has it she almost entered when Sabrina signed up
Yeah.
because there would have been an amazing foot
I
race.
That if she doesn't, I don't know who would.
Well, there's yeah. I mean, locally, no one. Locally in Utah,
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's true.
yeah. Marie Young in second, 9:42. Ashley Moline, 10:25. I'll say that bear tags. Sabrina had to pass on the bear tag. If you didn't see the reel, she had to pass due to UTMB and some other stuff she's doing. So So Marie was pumped.
Yeah, that was cool.
Marie will run her first 100 miler at the Bear 100 next year.
She's strong.
I can't wait to talk about her in our pre-race predictions
I
next
saw
year.
her running out on the course. I'm like, she is strong.
And Grant Barnett accepted the bear tag. He'll be there next year.
Let's go.
We
He's
will have.
cool, dude. I like that guy.
He's really cool. Next week, make sure you tune in. We will have episodes with Sabrina and Grant. We'll keep the tradition rolling of our men's and female 50-miler winners. They will come on the next aid station and chat, all things DC Peaks, all things running. So stay tuned. Make sure you follow up and listen to those episodes. I'm sure they'll be fantastic. I want to touch on the men's, and then we'll hit the women's.
Okay.
Grant and Zach and Alex going sub 8 hours. We had the conversation, which was pre these guys. Grant and Zach hadn't signed up, but Alex was on our watch list with Killian Korth, a few other people.
Nate
Hayward, Colorado dude, that Franklin.
Yeah.
They're all on our watch list, which we were right. They were all right there. And we had the conversation, and you were like, yeah, a 9-hour could still land you on the podium.
Well, yeah, bro.
I don't think, even if Grant and Zach don't run, I don't know that a 9-hour even gets you there.
Well,
that's how fast
this field was.
Field is getting.
It was the field. I don't think our course is as fast as we thought.
I agree.
I thought it was good. We both said half hour faster. No, it's not.
It's not. I think it runs the same.
I know. We're going to need Adam Loomis to come back. It's
really the only way to know.
Yeah.
Because I think what you lose by going up Chin Scraper, you get right back at the Summerwood out and back.
Yeah, and Chin Scraper it's no chump.
It's not like it's just like, oh, I just get to cut through and go here. No.
Yeah. I was pretty surprised. I'm like, I actually don't think it's faster.
Yeah. Our next 3 men, 4th, 5th, and 6th, ran 8:13, 8:28, 8:44. So I'll say the course is a little bit faster based off of that. And we might not ever have another race where 9 hours lands you on the podium in the 50-miler and the men's side.
Yeah, we might not.
We just had 6.
Look at Franklin.
We had 6 runners.
Was 40 minutes faster this year. But he could be in better shape.
Yeah.
I've done speed goat and I was 3 hours faster than I was.
He's in better shape and he's more experienced. I mean, when you run a course one time and come back, the second time, I would imagine the percentage of times that you are faster the second time around is very, very high.
Yeah, that's true.
Just the knowledge alone of being like, okay, like I could have pushed way harder going down zigzag. I took it freaking easy.
Yeah.
Like Franklin kind of alluded to that. Like he took it kind of easy. Things like that. You're like, oh, I can push there because the rest of the course is runnable. So I'm going to push down zigzag and wreck my quads. I don't care. I don't really need them.
Yeah, you learn.
You learn.
Franklin made a mistake too. He had his pacer, Sam
Collins was Franklin's pacer.
Yeah, and Sam's like, "Oh, I'm actually going to run the race." Thanks.
What does that
thanks
feel
for the
like?
Intro.
What does that feel like, Mick? You ever had someone do that to you?
Yeah, actually, you did that to me in Bear.
I apologized last time.
Franklin, I feel you, brother.
Brother. Killian Korth was on our watch list. He was running top 10, elite level runner, very, very experienced. We talk about him all the time on the pod. And just unfortunate medical issue. He had to drop at Bountiful Peak. Very, very could have been serious medical issue. Went to the ER, turned out to be good, and hung out at the finish line for several hours.
Yeah, I talked to him, checked on him the next day. He's good to go. Just a wild, rough year for him. A different injury or something came up at every different race and of different distances and everything. So he's just like, I told him, I'm like, you need to be 5K guy.
Why don't we put him in our 25K? He drops at Summerwood.
I don't know if you can handle that distance.
Yeah, I know. Look, Killian
There's an out and back, bro.
I know. Killian either wins first place or he DNFs.
He'll dial it in.
Yeah.
He needs more of those quadruple burgers from In-N-Out.
He does.
Yeah.
Protein style.
Yeah.
Double the meat. Yeah. So our love and condolences go out to Killian and anyone that had to DNF. We hope you come back and redeem yourself.
Nate was one of them.
Yeah, Nate Hayward was one. He had to drop, I think, at Bountiful.
Also known as Nate Howard.
Yeah, he's known as Nate Howard on our podcast, but we'll roll with Hayward here for a second. Which is crazy because we were like, oh, is he Gordon Hayward's brother? And then we went on to call him Nate Howard the whole time. What's wrong with us?
Well, I don't know. It was pretty dumb. He's like, I'm not finishing your stupid race.
You don't even know my name. Oh, that was super fun. I loved that we had an actual race at the front of that pack. And the chase pack was tight.
Yeah, good. Very strong.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's what we've wanted.
Bro, Grant and Zach ran 40 miles together, and Grant made a move climbing Mueller. He made a move before the right-hand turn onto the BST.
He did. He had to. I mean,
he said,
if they're together and he beats him by
12
minutes. So that's almost a minute per mile. He was hauling.
I went back and watched the live stream yesterday. Oh, I mean, I watched it Sunday, and I watched it Monday, and I watched it Tuesday. And he had a 5-minute gap on him at Summerwood. He gapped 7 more minutes on him in the last 5 miles.
Didn't they see each other on the out and back?
Yeah.
I don't know how that's possible because Zach's so fast.
Bro, he had a 5-minute lead on him.
Grant's like just all out. He's talented.
How do you put 7 minutes on Zach Garner in the final 5 miles of a run? How do you do that?
I think it's a combination of him being really talented and Zach just being like, I'm not pushing as fast as I can on this. I don't know.
No, dude, I don't know. But
if Zach ran as fast as he could and gave it everything, this is UTMB. You think that's happening?
He's racing, dude. I don't think he's held anything back.
Then
No
Grant's
way.
a psycho.
Yeah. Grant told me Zach led on the bridge. I said, who crossed the bridge first at Mueller Park? He said, Zach. I go, so when did you pass him? Did you pass him before the hard right onto the BST? He goes, yeah. He goes, that steep mile.
Like the first mile.
Uh-huh. He goes, I could tell he was kind of sluggishly pounding it. And I was like,
he felt good.
I'm going to make a move and go.
Good for him.
And he read it perfect. That's just experience running, dude.
That's a pro's pro right there then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
I'm not trying to take away from him. That dude's crazy good.
Yeah, dude.
I'm just saying, so was Zach.
Zach crossed the finish line, put his hands on his knees, and he's like, I was running scared. Like
okay, well,
mountain lion was chasing him. Named Zach Garner.
I don't even care then. Like that's really cool to have those level of athletes duking it out at our race.
And Sam and Alex at 3rd and 4th.
Alex's first 50 miler.
Yep, they were right there.
Yeah, that means a lot to me. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Like I'm like, I don't take that for granted. I appreciate that they came and ran our race.
I'll tell you right now, Adam Loomis runs a 7:35 if he's got Zach Garner on his ass.
A 7:35 even and beats Grant. Is this a call out?
I'm just saying, if you run, you know this. Everyone knows this. If you're in an actual race in the last 10 miles, you're going way harder than just coasting.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Adam had to have been just
Tahoe
kind of
200.
coasting. Yeah. Yeah, I'm never running that section that fast again unless I got someone right behind me.
Yeah, cool.
So, on the women's side, I think Sabrina gave it everything she had and went sub-9. I would say the same thing. If she had Leah Yingling toe-to-toe with her, she probably could shave another 5-10 minutes off. I think you just can do that. It's in it.
Yeah,
the adrenaline or whatever.
Sure.
So, but that women's race was awesome too. It really was cool watching Sabrina in the top 10 and doing her thing. Just, I mean, you say pro. She's
I know.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
I loved watching her, just getting to know her. Marie and Ashley in their first 50s.
When people like that say you have a phenomenal event, I'm like, what?
Me? Who, me?
No, that I'm like, because they've done all of them. I'm like, so for them, she said I would be surprised if you didn't have a wait list next year. Now, she could just be saying that to be nice, but it's like, wow, that means a lot coming from someone like that.
I think she's right. And I think that if I have any say in this, I have a little bit, I would like to cap this next year. I'd like to cap our 200, our 100.
No,
What number am I talking about?
50, the 55K, and the...
I'd like to cap our 50 miler at 200 people and go for 100 people in the 55 and 100 in the 25. I'd love to see that spread. But, I just think that if we put a cap on those numbers, I think we get a good balance between all three events and the whole kind of running community thing. And then if the stars align and we can release our 100 miler, we got another, call it 200 runners there. We're looking at 400 or 500 runners for next year.
Okay. I mean, if anyone ever thought you were doing this for money, that would counter that. You make less on the...
Of course. We don't make any money on them.
Yeah.
It's just for fun. But, I did sign on your window that we'd have 1,000 runners next year.
You just let 1,000 people in for free.
They're all in.
I win.
Well, we did talk about a 5K.
Not in October, but maybe we do that in May.
Yeah. 5K would be fun.
Straight up grandeur and back?
Sure. What else do we have? What else is on your mind that we need to recap that we have not thought of on the DC Peaks recap for 2024?
You said that we were going to get to the medals, and we never got back to it.
Okay, correct. I am wearing the 25K finisher's medal.
Yeah.
That we got high pub on. The 55Kers got a similar one with slightly different colors.
Yeah.
Both dope. We own a bunch of sunglasses. I don't know how many we still own for our 50 milers, but collectively as a group, we have decided the 50 milers should get medals.
Yeah, which a lot of people told us they just throw the medals in the trash.
A lot of people named Mick and Jake said that.
I mean, sure, but we got a lot of feedback in our first year.
Mm-hmm,
and
we did.
Well, I don't want that. So we did something different. And then I'm like, it's the people that it was their first ultra.
Ashley. And a lot of others.
And I'm like, and then they see those other medals, and I'm like, it just was weighing on me. Nobody said anything to me, but I think I'm right. I'm like, I think we need to do a medal for the 50 miler, and I hit you up, and you're like, I agree, even though no one said anything. I just feel it.
Well, I mean, I was at the finish again for a very long time, and a lot of the 50 miler people or their family came up to the table and were like, "Hey, I didn't get my medal." I was like,
really?
"Oh, did you run the 50?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, the medal is the sunglasses," and
you didn't like that.
I read people for a living. That's what I do, and I was like, they wanted a medal too, or maybe more than the glasses. So I think next year we will do sunglasses and a medal until we have given out all the sunglasses, and then we'll probably just do medals. But we can go year to year on that. But I do think we go medals, because you know what next year we'll have? We'll have 3 medals and a belt buckle.
That's right. The belt buckle's sweet.
It's gonna be sick, dude. Are you gonna go?
I've seen it.
You gonna go earn the first one? Am I gonna crew you on the first DC Peaks 100?
Yeah.
Like we did the DC Peaks 50?
Yeah.
Is that gonna be your first 100?
No, I'm doing one in March, and you already are pacing me.
Did you sign up already?
Are you not aware of this?
I'm aware. You text me.
Yeah, no, you told me. Yeah. I have not signed up yet.
Mick Garrison, everyone, is going to finish his first 100 miler in March 2025.
We just got to figure out this IT ban, bro.
Yeah. It is something. Maybe I'll just sign up for the Buffalo Run 100 and not,
cool, so you're not
pay.
pacing me. You can?
Just kidding.
I'll whoop your ass.
You will if I don't pace you. No, I'm not running it. I'll
I
pace
won't.
you. I'm looking forward to Kodiak this weekend. I tweaked my left foot just a little bit while race directing, which is really weird, but
Course
I did.
marking.
Course marking the BST in Centerville. But I think we're going to give it a go. I think we're going to give it a go this weekend, and we're going to go down there and just bang out whatever route they gave us
I'm down. We're leaving in the morning.
tomorrow morning. So we're going to listen to this on our drive.
Oh, great.
To recap it. Okay, I want to thank Rockstar for being a sponsor all year and always. We did just sign a new 3-year agreement, so we are freaking pumped and locked in with our dudes and dudettes,
They're the best.
our peeps over at Rockstar. Very pumped about the agreement there and just the love they continue to give us. Thank you to Rapid Reboot. Dude, my mother-in-law and her sister, they were in Europe for 2 weeks, and they came back the day before DC Peaks. They came to the finish line for a few hours, and I saw them over there kicking it in the Rapid Reboots.
With Tyler.
Yeah, dude. And Tyler's wife.
I sit in my Rapid Reboots every single day.
I was in them yesterday for 1 hour while watching Survivor.
If you are an athlete and you get the sore calves or the tight hips, get the boots and the hip attachments. It's not, for what you gain from it, it's not really that expensive. It's like, I don't know, $700, or it can be up to $1,000, or you can build different packages. And you think like, oh, that's expensive. It's not. Like, hurting all day is expensive. That sucks.
Not recovering and getting an injury, and then medical bills is also expensive.
Yeah, like it feels good, and it like actually helps you recover faster.
Yep. The Rapid Reboots are fire, and our 55K podium, no, our 50-mile podium.
Yeah.
Our 50-mile podium runners, all 6 of them, received a massage gun, therapy gun from Rapid Reboot. So thank you, Tyler and the crew. Restore Wellness, Jen and her team were at the expo and at all day. In fact, they became our makeshift medical tent at the finish line. Did you know this?
No.
Everyone, not everyone, but there were a lot of people with banged up knees, took spills.
Did we not have the stuff I bought?
We had some
No,
stuff.
we didn't take it there. Oh my goodness.
But you left it wherever you left it, not at the finish line where I needed it. And so you know who became our makeshift medical tent?
Jen, Restore.
Yeah, they were awesome.
Yeah, they got you.
And then I sent someone to the store to grab, some extra stuff. But I mean, it was fine. Everybody was cool.
Yeah, go over to Restore, hit a cryo, do some red light therapy. They do IVs.
Yep. I hit cryo and red light
NAD
yesterday.
drip.
Yep. So they're awesome. Thank you to them. And who am I forgetting? One Solar. They're cool.
They're pretty cool. If you want solar on your house,
Or you want some Lion Energy
we
batteries,
got you.
you can come to us and we could throw batteries on your RV or at your house. Lion Energy came through. That was rad. Dude, our sponsors were just awesome. I think we're going to roll with those same sponsors as long as they're getting benefit out of it, because we certainly get benefit out of all those sponsors.
Bet.
You know what we're going to have next year at the finish line, Mick? We're going to have a huge screen where we show the live stream.
Yep.
To all the runners and the family waiting. They're going to see live stream. They're going to see open split time or whatever app, tool we're using. They'll see everyone's splits and times. It'll just be cool to have a big old screen right there.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. And another piece of production we'll put together.
Hey, I bought some chairs. We'll have some chairs at the finish
We're
line.
going to have a bunch of chairs. We're going to have more canopies, more shade. Already bought all that stuff on Prime Day.
Strippers.
And strippers and cocaine.
Let's go.
Yeah, so they can run it back.
Best race ever.
Everyone was like, what's your 100-mile course? And I was like, just turn around and just go. You just finished 50, just turn right around and go do the other 50.
Yeah. That actually would be kind of a cool. We're not going to do that.
No.
Our
No.
route's better.
No, that's what Leadville does, and I'm out on that. So, okay, this has been a great episode. We got 1 or 2 more episodes in us this season, and we're going to hang it up for the winter. So thank you for tuning in. Again, next week, tune back, because we got Grant Barnett, We got Sabrina Stanley, and we got a recap of the Kodiak 100 that I am running, crewing and pacing my guy alongside Mick Garrison. This has been the next aid station.